Oh my god, it's you again, and it's also us. We've been stood here in this exact spot since we reacted to the Deadpool trailer yesterday. What was our reaction? That one.
Yeah.
And we have just watched the Venom trailer. The first one, the teaser, the 1 minute long, not actually got Venom, but is about Venom trailer. The office is divided. Basically, half of the people are very disappointed they've just watched a Venom trailer and not seen Venom. But comics editor Ewan is here, I'm Adam by the way, to tell you why that's fine. Go right ahead.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's a teaser, isn't it? There we go. That's my reasoning.
We're gonna need. Yep.
Yeah, it's also meant to be a horror film, and my logic is.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're going for. They said a while back that it's going to be inspired by the works of John Carpenter and Cronenberg as well. So it's meant to be like this big kind of monster movie type thing. And my reasoning is, you don't show off your monster until like you want to. Like think of the shark in Jaws. Like you don't see the shark until the very end. And obviously this is a film about Venom. People are going to want to see the suit. I'm totally content with them playing this to their chest for the next 8 months. So
yeah, I mean it's an interesting one. This we've just been talking about it. Now I would say normally the MCU have never done a monster movie before in the classic sense, but we're still none of us sure whether or not this is an MCU film. It's in partnership with Marvel Studios. We've seen that on the start, but it's not necessarily in the same universe as Tom Holland and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There was a
rumor a few weeks ago that Tom Holland is due to have a cameo in the film, but that's not been substantiated. And then there was also basically this whole thing between Sony and Marvel where they're like, yeah, it's kind of in the MCU, but it's also kind of not. So basically, we don't know yet. Do you think there's a possibility they're waiting to see if it's any good before saying whether or not it's theirs? Yes.
Because it's quite an odd one, because Venom, most people know him from Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. Spider-Man's ultimate adversary?
Yeah, he's got the biggest tongue of them all.
The biggest tongue of them all. That is how I grade people. It would be the first time Marvel had done a film where the protagonist was a bad guy. But obviously Venom is the shades of him. Shades of black, you might say. Yeah,
they're following the Lethal Protector story arc from the comic, which is quite rare for an actual studio to come out and say we are actually adapting it from a specific line of comic books. But in that arc, Venom basically goes to San Francisco, and you can see the Golden Gate Bridge in the trailer, and it's all about him tracking down a place called the Life Foundation. And the Life Foundation is actually ironic because they're all about death and destruction.
Those villains.
Yeah, in that comic book, they take the symbiote and basically make a bunch of symbiote clones, and they all have really cringy names like Phase and Agony and Slasher.
So you say that, but you obviously didn't like So Solid Crew. I'm pretty sure they were all in that. Yeah, but brings me to my next question. If Venom is, not quite a good guy, not quite a bad guy, how do you set up stakes in that film? Like, how do you make sure that he's the person that the audience is rooting for?
I think they're basically going to put him through hell and back again, because you see in that trailer he's gone through some sort of accident.
He's having a bad old time,
a bit of a bad day, and his love interest, played by Michelle Williams, looks very concerned at one point in the trailer.
As you would?
Yeah, I think they're in an interesting pickle here, because obviously if you know the comics,
all pickles are interesting.
Yeah, but you know that Spider-Man is tied to Venom, like the origin of it comes through Spider-Man. They're doing this without Spidey. So having to come up with a new origin of their own, and obviously at one point you can see Riz Ahmed's character. He's got the symbiote in the. Well, I can only imagine it's the canister that had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles goo in it, because it looks like the exact same type of thing.
It does look like that, yes.
So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that.
Gun to your head as our comics editor, our nerd-in-chief, he might be called. Is Venom a strong enough character to carry his own film?
If you asked me that a few years ago, I would have said no. But the fact that they have Tom Hardy in this, and the fact that since they announced it, I've actually done like a little bit of reading up on the character, I think yes, because if you've watched the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, we're going back to that old Chester
again. Yes, I was from yesterday.
You'll remember Eddie Brock as being this hench, bodybuilding, angry guy that had nothing else to him.
A lot of people will remember Eddie Brock from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon as being this hench guy. A lot of other people are going to remember Eddie Brock as portrayed by Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3, and that was, I would say, a different portrayal. Basically using the skinny dude from that 70s show and giving him a mouth the size of Julia Roberts. That was quite, I mean, has enough time passed that people are going to forget that portrayal? Actually, better question, is that still seen as a problem?
I wouldn't.
Should I just get over it?
Yeah, maybe you should. I don't know.
We got over it for Spider-Man twice, so I suppose we can forgive Venom this once.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like it's a case of, in the comics he's always been the whole idea of Eddie Brock was that he was a really renowned journalist, and then basically he covers a murder story that Spider-Man gets involved in, and he extracts a confession from a guy who is a serial confessor. So basically, by proxy, Spider-Man ruins his reputation.
A serial confessor?
Yeah, he just confesses to everything. Like, oh, that thing I killed. Like,
as you know, I can't abide a grass, unfortunately.
Yeah, well,
so
there we go. He was basically a serial grass.
Ugh.
And he basically prints this saying that he's the killer. Spider-Man then finds the real killer, and Eddie Brock is basically like, oh, I hate Spider-Man now because he's ruined my reputation.
But we're not going to be getting that.
No.
As far as we know.
No.
Tom Holland might make... So, do you think Marvel are just hedging their bets here?
Yeah.
So do I. What we've seen of the trailer, we should probably talk about that at some point. It's quite short, it's quite snappy. What did you make of the tone of the film, the way it looks? How did that give you a net increase or decrease in terms of excitement for the film?
Again, I guess I kind of like, I think everyone in the office was kind of very apathetic to the whole thing. I'm not...
Not everyone.
Yeah, well...
We know Joy.
I'm kind of... I like Tom Hardy's narration. Actually, I know you kind of got hints of his accent in there. I thought it was
we disagreed on this straight away. I was like, oh, that's Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Why is he doing a silly accent? And that kind of got me a bit. But you said you couldn't pick up on that being Tom Hardy at all.
Just me being really silly.
Have you watched Peaky Blinders?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know then.
Well, again, that's the other thing as well. He's not doing his stuttering kind of thing. So that's
He's
quite
not
good.
talking into a cup to a dog as Bane, which is the last time I saw him this week.
It's a really good video.
I thought it looked really good. Like, it looks dark as all hell. It looks broody. It looks menacing. There's a lot of threat there. They are trying to make this quite a scary John Carpenter-esque film. I think they're... Certainly from the 60 seconds of it I've seen, they appear to be on the right lines. When's it coming out?
October, so it's right in time for spooky season. So, yeah, there we go. The first, I guess, well, not really the first. There have been a few horror superhero films before, like Blade and Hellboy, but this is the first that's going for R rating, I think. So,
really, this could be the first R-rated Marvel movie, if indeed it's R-rated and indeed it's a Marvel movie.
The first MCU, I guess. I don't know.
Would you, I mean, gun to your head, would you, if this, let's say this film does very well and Tom Hardy has praise heaped upon him for his portrayal as Venom, this becomes the archetypal performance of Venom in most people's minds, how would Marvel deal with that? Would they have to fold him in? Would they do Spider-Man versus Venom, or would they become...
It's really interesting, because I guess that kind of would force a different strategy from Marvel. Not that anything could force them, because basically anything they do makes tons and tons of money.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it does.
Like, I guess if it's set in the MCU, that's more exciting to me, because it shows that they've now got something in that universe that isn't just... Not to say that all Marvel films are uniform, because they're definitely not, but it pushes them in a new, darker direction, which I guess, again, if you've seen the Netflix stuff, that is also really appealing.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to say, does this not feel more like a Marvel Netflix property, given, I mean, basically the colour palette is just all brown, dark, and black and sad,
yeah.
Would you, I mean, I'm getting way off topic here, could you envisage us getting another phase of Marvel films, or just all baddies?
That would be interesting.
I'd love that.
Go back to Sinister Six, that's the group from Spider-Man's thing, so you get the Sinister Six.
Who's in the Sinister Six?
Venom, Vulture, Scorpion.
This is because nothing for the trailer. I just want to test him.
Mysterio. How many? I've got
4.
Got a C in GCSE maths, so this is just going.
I bet they covered
Electro and Green Goblin.
That's 6.
Yeah,
wow.
There we go.
And on that bombshell, I sound like Clarkson there. On that bombshell, that has been our reaction to the Venom trailer. What was the reaction face this time? Okay, that was quite different that time. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us. Let us know what you think of the Venom teaser trailer in the comments below. And you know the drill by now. Please do like, share, and subscribe. This has been Ewan for What Culture Comics, and I've just been Adam for What Culture, whatever the hell they do with me on a Thursday. Until next time, we'll both see you very, very soon. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.